Hey everyone, it's the end of 2024 and I wanted to take some time to celebrate the channel's major accomplishment this year and wish you all a happy holiday season. As this video is coming out, the channel has more than 20,000 YouTube subscribers, so I wanted to do a quick off-the-cuff Q&A video for my subscribers. I hope you enjoy. What are your channel plans for 2025? This is a great question. Admittedly, I've been all over the place this year, which I plan to work on. It's been an unprecedented year for my full-time career, and it's stunted my channel a bit with video creation. My next main video to come out is about the Italian battleships of World War II, which will be a sub 15-minute video about the classes. I also plan to make a video about the Imperial Japanese Navy aircraft carriers and also battleships. I'd like to also cover Royal Navy battleships and carriers as well. It's ambitious, but it is something that I saw as my most successful series. I like to do some special stories too, like USS Yorktown at the Battle of Midway, Operation Crossroads and the ships involved, the Battle off Samar at Leyte Gulf, and the Battle of Wake Island closer to the end of the year. How did you get into history? When I was a kid, I remember going to the local airport and a B-25 Mitchell, and I think it was a B-17 or a B-24, was on display, and you were able to walk through them. That was my first World War II era experience, I think. But when I was 12, I remember I had some Christmas money and went to Toys R Us, where I saw the cover of Heroes of the Pacific, an arcade World War II warplane game on Xbox with a P-40 Warhawk firing all its guns with its shark mouth. I'm remembering right away that I wanted it, and playing a Pearl Harbor mission and one at Wake Island got me hooked. I started getting into airplanes, which turned into model making. I started reading more about aircraft, battles, ships, weapons, and anything about World War II. I still have all the aircraft, ship, and tank models I made when I was a teenager. This is when I really started focusing on aircraft carriers and aircraft themselves. Why did you start your channel? In 2020, during the pandemic, I wanted to give YouTube a shot and grab a piece of the World War II history pie. I saw a lot of smaller creators kicking up channels, and I thought I had something to share as I studied history for more than 15 years at this point. At the time, I didn't see any videos about variant history of World War II aircraft, so I started with that. The video that went viral for my channel was when I visited USS Salem in Massachusetts, explaining that she was the only heavy cruiser left in existence. A few other videos since then have grown the channel even more. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. Do you have a preference between covering the Pacific and European theaters of World War II? I have a bias towards the Pacific. The game Heroes of the Pacific really pushed me to follow that side of the war. I just think aircraft carriers and the island hopping campaigns are so interesting. The show Band of Brothers introduced me to the European theater, and I'm looking to learn even more about that, tanks and weapons in particular. North Africa seems very interesting as well, along with the West Pacific and Indian Ocean campaigns. What's your background? Any military service or family members in the service? I'm from New York and work in marketing. I did not serve in the military, but I highly respect all veterans. I have always been interested in their stories and just the war itself. My dad's dad was in the Italian Army in the early 1950s, and he was a tank commander, with lots of photos in front of M36 Jacksons and M4 Shermans, which I thought was very cool. My mom's dad served in the US Navy at the tail end of World War II and was in training camp as the war ended. Additional family members on both sides served in World War II as well. I also have a number of work colleagues and friends from home who are veterans as well. And my neighbor from when I was a kid was a B-29 Superfortress co-pilot who was based out of Saipan. What's your favorite ship, plane, or tank? I really enjoy reading about the Yorktown class carriers, especially Yorktown and Enterprise. Particularly their early war careers I find interesting. I love battleships too. I like Nevada due to her interesting story during Pearl Harbor and her rebuild. My favorite plane is the Grumman F4F Wildcat and the General Motors FM2 Wildcat, very similar. It was my favorite plane in Heroes of the Pacific and it stuck. Old-time subscribers will see that the first video I made for the channel was about an F4F Wildcat. I do also like early World War II planes in general as well, like the P-40 Warhawk and Hawker Hurricanes for example. The North American B-25 Mitchell is my favorite bomber aircraft. As for armored vehicles, I like the M10 GMC tank destroyer, but always love the M4 Sherman. Do you plan on covering any other topics on your channel? Cold War naval history is something I've always thought about, such as the US aircraft carrier programs during the beginning of the Cold War. But for right now, just focusing on World War II. Are you considering covering any other types of ships? I'm very open to working on other types of ships, especially light and heavy cruisers, destroyers, and even the smaller ships like landing craft and escort vessels. I have a running list of ideas of special videos and class videos, but one day I'll make my way down to those. Just wanted to focus on carriers and battleships from other nations for the time being. Do you play World War II or other military games? I do play video games still. For World War II specific, I used to play the older Call of Duties, Battlefield games, and World of Tanks. Now I play War Thunder mainly for World War II vehicles, World of Warships sometimes. I'm a longtime fan of the Halo game series. I play Helldivers 2 a lot, and I'm big into racing games as well. Thank you for all your questions. I'm looking forward to elevating this channel even more. I hope you have a happy new year, and be sure to stick around for more content in 2025. If you have any more questions, be sure to leave a comment. Take care, everyone.